Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I'm live for the afternoon chat. We got a lot to discuss as of what happened of late, disloyalty in boxing, Conor Ben, Eddie Hearn, DAZN, Zuffa Boxing that's making a come up. We got Mama Lou, counterpunch to you. Mama Lou states that first to see message and give you the first like. Thank you. I appreciate you. You guys hit that like button as you guys come in if you feel fit. I'm just out in the brisk, beautiful Louisiana weather, which it's supposed to get colder today, which I have no problem with it. I am dressed for the occasion. Bill Keaveney, Bill Knows Boxing, 1526. What's up, brother? How you doing? Everything's good my way. I'm feeling a lot better. Still congested, though. You know, I actually got sick at the hospital doing the procedure that I was going to do. So I left there with a cold or whatever. I lost my taste, so I'm now getting my taste back. It's crazy. Life is good, dude. Man, life is still good, bro. Thank God, life is still good. I'm happy. I'm still, encouraged. And had a dream last night that it kind of woke me up to let me know that maybe I should do a lot more. You guys seen me push a lot of content and a lot of things like that based on the lack of skills that I had technically, but I was still doing the work. Remember to use hand sanitizer. Rod 1170 for 1147. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That also helps. It definitely helps. So, yeah, it does help. I think that I'm going to do more. I just need a stable place to work, I feel. And that's what we're getting into. But nonetheless, that's all personal stuff. Enough about me. I think that Eddie Hearn, Dana White, Conor Ben, of course, that is the caption of the day. This is a great year so far. I've really improved my diet and dropped inches. That's good, bro. That's good. That's great. I've been working out a bit myself. Staying more fit, being more clear, making better decisions. So yeah, eating better, definitely. So I really like the year it has actually been good. And it's February. So February 21st, 2026, let's get in the mix. Let's get it done. What you eating today? What up, Kurt? Chet Perry, 3384. Right now I'm just on some, I ate breakfast. And I'm using this Super Energy blueberry, strawberry, and acerola. I hope I'm saying that right. 70 megs of caffeine from green tea. So this is kind of an energy boost, which Evolution is a brand that I've been using for the last couple years. And it gives you a pretty good boost. So I've been using that a lot. But I want to eat mostly fruits and vegetables today. I'm not going live for the Ryan Garcia versus Barrios. I'm not paying $70, man. I'm just not doing it. I will go live later today, but it won't be to cover that fight. I'm just not doing it. I mean, it's not worth doing it. It's taken away from. It's just taken away. And I have nothing against Barrios. It's just DAZN has decided to become the next Benedict Arnold. I'm sorry. They're not doing what they promised they're going to do. Turki Al-Sheikh promised the zone that he would not charge us anything after November, despite having 3 cards in November, right? I thought that was enough, but it's not. And I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it because I got to get back to work. I have to work. I'd rather work than to spend money on a card that it's not coming back. You know, there's not enough support no more. I'm sorry. People don't even know I'm live. It is what it is. I mean, not saying you guys don't support me. I'm saying YouTube is not supportive enough to do their job to even send out to the notifications to the people that know, that are subscribed, that want notifications to the channel. And for them to charge $69.99 for a fight between Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia is deplorable. I'm sorry. Ryan Garcia got his ASS whooped by who? Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero was the underdog. He's always been the underdog in pretty much the last 2 or 3 fights that he's fought. And he went in there and whooped Ryan because Ryan's not juicing anymore. We already know what it is. Let's stop acting like we don't know what it is. Ryan ain't juice no more. He may, if he pops dirty, because the way he's acting now, he's up in it. No, if he pops dirty, people, you already know what it is. Because he didn't act like that when he fought Rolly. You know, if you wanted to make an excuse for Ryan and said, well, he couldn't get up for Rolly, okay, that's fine. You know, YouTube made their billions. They don't care. It is what it is. Kurt, what if Franklin shocks the world and beats the Englishman? It wouldn't surprise me because Moses Atoma hasn't done anything yet. He's just showed you that he's a good offensive fighter. Anybody in Ben's camp can show you that. That's what Ben specializes in. Offense. We all know that. How you think Joshua got knocked out by Daniel Dubois? Because all Ben Davison taught Anthony Joshua, he stroked his ego on how hard he punched. Ever since the Francis Ngannou fight, and we all know Francis Ngannou was his second fight and didn't know his head from his you-know-what. Just keeping it real, man. Just keeping it real. I mean, look, Ben Davison, he's good at offense, but he's not a good all-around coach. He's not. He's not. You know, the only person that he cared about defense for was Tyson Fury when he fought Wilder because he didn't want Wilder to get the opportunity to punch him. And he did anyway, didn't he? You know? Watching from London, UK, Jason Good. Counterpunch to you, brother. The undercard could be a smoker. Yes, Kurt. What's up, bro? You okay? I'm good. I feel good. It's just I can't spend money on that, man. And it wasn't. It's not even. I can't afford it. It's not that at all. It's we were told. We all were told from the zone. We will not have any more pay-per-views. Canelo ain't fought and win since the Crawford fight, right? And that was free because it was on Netflix. So you want me to watch Crawford and Canelo free, but then pay $70 to watch these dudes fight? Mario Barrios, have nothing against him, good Texas boy and all, but he got beat by Keith Thurman, Gervonta Tank Davis. He beat Yordenis Ugas, which is probably past his prime. You know, had a draw with Manny Pacquiao, which I think he won, but he's fighting someone that got beat by Rolly Romero, and you want me to spend $70 on that? You really? No, bro, I'm not doing that. It's time to be smarter in 2026. Not spend money. And you know me, guys, I want to support these boxers. That's why I'm not getting it illegal. That's why I'm not stealing it. That's why I'm not illegally streaming it. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just not going to watch the fight because I ain't paying for it. Now, I'll do a breakdown. I'll do a live breakdown on how I feel the outcome went. Sure. I'll do a live after the fight, maybe. But I'm not going to pay that no more. I'm not doing it. Turkey is deep in a conflict of interest. Well, this is what Turkey did. Turkey has got confide in Dana White. We all know that. Dana White now has his eyes on everybody. And it's going to be more people. Everybody's blaming Conor Benn. Conor, you are a traitor. Conor, you have no loyalty. Conor. Let me tell you something. Nobody takes the punches but Conor Benn, but the fighters. Conor Benn don't have to be loyal to anybody if he's not in contract. He made a business decision based on how he felt. So what? And you don't think that Turkey had something to do with it? Do you think he just went to Dana White and said, all right, Dana, I want to sign with you? No. He probably talked with Turki Al-Sheikh first, and Turkey said, hey, we got some incentives. We got some bonuses. We know you're an exciting fighter, and you're going to make those bonuses, and we're gonna really market you as this type of fighter. And guess what? It's all going to be right here in the USA. That's all. I thought Turkey was the money man. Dona has more. They're together. Dana White and Turkey are together in this thing. Turkey's probably the silent partner paying everybody. Yeah, I said it. Turkey's probably paying every Zuffa boxer there. He's probably paying every Zuffa boxer there. That's what I'm telling you. People mad at Conor Benn. Don't get mad at Conor Benn. If Eddie Hearn was smart, he should have signed him to another contract. He just thought that he didn't because he thought that his character was better than to just run off to Dana White because he knew he had beef with him. Listen, it's business. Boxing is business. You make business decisions. That's all. You make business decisions based on your better interest or your best interest. That's what Conor Benn did. He got the 2 Chris Eubank Jr. fights, and he probably thought about it. There ain't nothing that Eddie Hearn can do for me right now. Right now. So right now, I'm going to sign with Zuffa Boxing. It's the new hottest thing around. And they got money and they got a budget. Everybody else did the same thing. Nobody said nothing with Wilder, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, all the Charlo brothers, Adrian Broner. All of those guys left Golden Boy. Nobody said nothing. Richard Schaefer funneled them all the way over to what? Al Haymon Premier Boxing Champions. Nobody said anything. Conor Benn just decided to step out on a limb and do what he needed to do for his family. And what I'm hearing, it's only one fight anyway. Who cares? What is everybody all pissed off? Why is Eddie mad? Are you mad, Eddie, because you lied for somebody that you knew that was guilty? Or you're mad because you wouldn't have done it if you knew he would have left you? Did you do it because it was the right thing, Eddie? Huh? Did you do it because it was the right thing, or you did it because you thought this guy was going to stay with you and make money for you because he said he was going to? That's the question you ask yourself. Usyk mentioned having a clear exact date in mind for retirement, acknowledging that older men can't compete with younger ones. Yeah, I got to do a video on that. I've seen that. You see what I mean? I've read that and I'm just like, But see, here's the thing about me. When I read something like that, I have to be in the mood to counterpunch because I don't want to just do it for the sake of doing it. I want to do it for the sake of doing it when I feel the need to respond to it. Turkey picked Dana because he's in boxing to improve the image of his country and Western influence. Dana has the ear of the president. 15.5 million paid contract for Ben. 15.5 million pounds. If that's true, if that's documented, I can see why he did it. Who wouldn't do that? 15.5? What is that? Almost $20 million? 17, 18 million? That's about what he made for both fights fighting Chris Eubank Jr. You think he ain't going to do that? I would have. He got to pay taxes out of that thing and everybody else. So the more money you make, the more money that you can take home. That's all. I don't blame Conor because I started thinking about it. I'm like, what? Eddie, are you mad because you stuck up for that fighter? If it was the right thing to do, you shouldn't be mad at all anyway. You did the right thing for the fighter that was signed. You were signed with. You showed loyalty to your fighter. It's almost like being a lawyer. As long as you're that person's lawyer, you're going to do everything you can for that client, right? That Eddie's in the same situation. He feels like he was betrayed. So what? It's just business. It ain't like Devin Haney left him, and then because he was with, Devin Haney was with Eddie. Right? Devin Haney was with Eddie. Demetrius Andrade was with Eddie. Luis Ortiz was with Eddie. You know what I mean? Now, here's the question. At how many times do you have or do you see Eddie say anything positive besides Canelo Alvarez about any of those fighters that once was with him? That's the question you ask yourself. How many times have you seen Eddie say anything positive about anybody that he was once signed with? Or was signed with him, should I say, right? Me and my dyslexia and all, forgive me for that. But how many times have you seen him talk good about Luis Ortiz, Devin Haney, right? Demetrius Andrade. You haven't seen Eddie Hearn. And this is what I said in my video about Eddie. I cautioned Eddie. I like Eddie Hearn. He's a good talker. He's still young. I think he's still learning. As good as talented as he is, doesn't mean that he knows everything about being a promoter. You know what I mean? Things that he could learn from his daddy, things that he could learn from Frank, things that he could learn from Oscar De La Hoya, things that he can learn from Frank Warren and Bob Arum, things that he can learn from those guys he still needs to learn. And this is one of them. Don't say things too greatly based on your emotion. Because I think that Eddie, like, oh, I'm devastated and this, that, and the other. Okay, I think you should leave it at that, Eddie. Don't go to the point where you may say something that you can't unsay later on. It's almost like this, right? You ever been in a relationship and somebody you felt you guys broke up and it wasn't necessarily your choice to break up, and then it happened? And then you say a lot of stuff to a lot of other people that it gets back to that person, and that person now has a different perception of you despite you not doing them wrong. This could happen in this situation with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, I think, should chill. I think he should reflect. I think he should go away somewhere, turn his phone off, and just think and relax. Be patient and remain silent. Why? Because if he's only signing a contract for that amount of money, he shouldn't be mad anyway if it's that amount of money. 15.5 million pounds. Who would be mad about that? Why would he be mad about that at all? Ben will drown in a title fight. He's just in a position where he's not in control anymore, and that's probably bothers him. Eddie will be fine. Well, it depends. We'll see. It's all about evaluation now with Eddie Hearn. It's all about evaluation. See, the evaluating factor for Eddie is his temperament, his character now. See, somebody can show you what you perceive as poor character, right? But then what do you do once someone shows you poor character? Do you in return show them poor character? And I'm going to put it like this. If somebody acts like a bitch to you, do you act like one back to them? Right? So it's up to Eddie on how he decides to respond. Now, and I feel, in my opinion, that he said enough. And I think he should be quiet and be wise. I think the wise thing for Eddie to do is chill. Just chill. He said, do your parents let you live stream? Hanging with Will Smith. Ruiz versus Ngannou on Zuffa Box and make it happen. I think Andy Ruiz will be one of the next people that sign. Conor has had it all handed to him. He'll be a champ soon. 60% UK tax. Oh yeah, that's crazy. That tax is crazy. You better ask AJ about that tax. That tax is crazy though, man. If I'm Conor, I'd be like, man, can you have these in the UK? Because, or what Conor could do if he's smart, Conor could apply for dual citizenship here in America and over there. But he still probably end up having to pay taxes. I mean, Eddie should. Eddie should just remain silent. Be quiet. Because he doesn't, because I don't think that he should allow himself, but knowing Eddie, he won't. Eddie won't. He's going to be on IFL TV. He's going to be on Seconds Out. He's going to be on Boxing King Media. He's going to be on a lot of different venues expressing how he feels about what Conor Benn did to him. And it's going to go like this. Everything we did for him. We put our reputation, our credibility online for Conor Benn, and Conor Benn left us like this. You already know ourselves. You know how it's going to go. And Eddie's going to do it because he can. Now, was it the best thing morally to do? No. But then again, Conor can do what he wants to do. And I like it. I like the idea of Conor doing it because he showed that just because I was with Matchroom and DAZN and all that doesn't mean that somebody has me by the balls, has me by the shackles. You know what I mean? That, you can't control me. You don't have me on a short leash. You don't have me in chains. You don't have me doing what you want me to do. You don't have me as your prisoner. I'm free to do whatever I want to do. And you know what? I'm proud of Conor Benn for that. Shout out to Conor Benn. Conor Benn, shout out to him. Conor. Conor countered people. He countered. Why? Because he can do what he wants to do. He can do what he wants to do, and he's showing people he can do what he wants to do. You guys, by the way, heard Chris Eubank Jr. What song, Eddie? You okay? I don't know what it is with Chris. Chris hates Eddie, and I don't know. I guess whatever Eddie did to Chris, he must have really affected him because, that fight's over and all that. He's still messing with Eddie Hearn. Only AJ left with Eddie. That's if he comes back. That's if Joshua comes back. There is no guarantee that Joshua will come back, which I think he will. I think he's in too good a shape, and I think that he, to get out of an accident like that, Anthony Joshua is going to come back just because he's in too good a shape not to come back. You know what I mean? He's going to come back. He's going to make a lot of money. And Eddie Hearn will smile yet again. 100% Kurt, it's not personal, it's business. That's all it is. Now, Eddie will try to look at it as a business because I think he wants people on his side, which normally when you have this type of situation, because Conor Benn has been with Matchroom, been with DAZN since he started. I met Conor Benn in Vegas. He's been with Eddie since he was a kid. Ben made a financial decision in a sport that's ruled by money. Contracts are there for a reason. If you don't have one, you're free to do whatever you want. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's Brendan Sterling. Dash Y1, is that O or 0? Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Eddie been lying for drug cheats. Well, You know what, Scance Rants? You got to ask yourself, does he regret doing that now? Does he regret protecting Conor Ben? Because it comes off to me, I'm devastated he did it. Like, okay. We stayed with him, the things that we did. And Conor acknowledged that. He was like, man, they stuck their neck out for me. The credibility, we got beat up in the social media setting, and it is what it is, But he did put his foot in his mouth like he would never go anywhere, and he decided to do that. That's why it's better to say, whenever you do something new or contradicting, it's always good to first of all address the contradicting thing. It's always good to do that, because it's like, yeah, I know what I said back then. I was wrong and I changed my mind. I know what I said, but because I think that puts you in a situation where at least you're apologizing and you're addressing and you're being held accountable for the things you already know you said that you would do, would or wouldn't do. It don't matter. If Eddie didn't stick up for Ben, Ben would have been done and no one would touch him. It's all a shady business. Boxing is the sport that I love, that I hate so much. It's the sport that I love that I hate so much. Ben can buy enough Easter eggs now. Yeah. Oh, Ben. No, but good for him, man. He's making the money. Let him make the money. He's getting that back end Turki Al-Sheikh money. That's what he's getting. Because that's who Dana's in bed with. They're in cahoots together. You don't think, did you seen Turki Al-Sheikh hold that Zuffa belt? What did you think that means? He's in collaboration with it. I think he's the angel investor in Zuffa boxing. And what it is, I think what Turki was doing when he made those venues over in the States, Turki was looking at who can promote American boxing on this side of the hemisphere better. Can Eddie do it? Can Oscar do it? Can Bob Arum do it? You know what I mean? He was watching, and I think he was observing. Like, who do I think can promote American boxing the best? And he picked somebody American. He picked Dana White. The UFC fights are lit. He wanted something with some structure. He wanted somebody close to the Ring magazine. Yeah. He chose Dana White. Now, I don't know if that was the best idea. Who knows? Turki owns Zuffa. Don't surprise me. How did Dana White steal Turki from Eddie? He didn't, because Turki don't belong to nobody. Just because Eddie and Frank hung around Turki because they knew he was the golden goose didn't mean anything. Didn't mean the golden goose belonged to them. If anything, he owned them, because he funneled money into the fighters of Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, and Oscar De La Hoya too. Whoever was around Turki Al-Sheikh flooded their pockets with his money. But that didn't mean for any second that they owned Turki. Turki just used them as tools. He's paying the fighters, therefore they're paying them. The fighters are paying the promoters. So the promoters are sitting there smiling, they're happy because they know that as long as Turki's giving these big fight purses to these fighters, they're making big kickbacks on their percentages. And it's all because of Turki Al-Sheikh. But Turki was doing what he wanted to do. He bought the Ring magazine belt. He's collaborating with Dana White right now. He's doing that because he wants to. Turkey can do whatever he wants to do. He had Canelo Alvarez, for Christ's sake. Anthony Joshua. He had them all except for who? Jake Paul and probably Javante Tank Davis. And how they doing right now? Eddie losing all his fighters. Eddie's all right. Eddie got money. Eddie got money. You can't feel sorry for nobody in Eddie's position right now that got that type of money, that generated that type of success, that had that type of once upon a time platform and stable. You can't feel sorry for Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn should know, and he should realize at this point, he should realize that this is a fickle business. It's like the YouTube boxing community. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes you're all around, right? It happens. You know, you're the man in some situations, and in some situations you're not. Tank is in jail. Jake Paul recovering. Turkey got trillions. I think he does. I think Turkey does have trillions of dollars. See, here's the thing about the royal family of Saudi Arabia. They don't have to disclose anything about what they make. They're a royal family. Whereas some people have to disclose how much money that they make and this, that, and the other. Turki al-Sheikh and the people that is in his family, that royal family of Saudi Arabia, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to tell anybody anything about what they make because they are a royal family. So yeah, he's probably a trillionaire. And even if he wasn't a trillionaire and he was a billionaire, what difference does it make? If you had $1 billion, I couldn't do anything with I can't say I could do anything with $1 billion. That's ridiculous. But you couldn't spend it all in your lifetime. You'd have to give most of it away to really just keep your sanity and your peace. Because people will be around you that you don't want around you. People will just be there to suck you dry. You know what I mean? It would be best to keep it secret of anybody that, you know, keep them from knowing. Because once someone knows that you're rich, you're going to have people knock on your door that you ain't seen in 35 years, 25 years, 17 years, 9 years. Just pop up. Just pat, 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 pat. Hey! You remember me? I went to truck driving school with you, remember? Kurt, you think Turkey makes profit off of the Canelo Crawford fight? I don't know, but I don't care either. You know what I mean? Because if you got that type of money, the entertainment value alone between Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, the upset, the excitement, the awe that it puts you in, that's good enough for anything else. Because look at it. If he didn't make any kind of kickback or profit from watching Canelo Alvarez get, what, $100 million and what Terrence get $41 million. So you roughly got about $150 million that you forked out to two fighters. In return, you seen a hell of a fight that wouldn't have never got made because if it wasn't for you. That's contribution right there. That's Turkey's way of donating to the fans, to the sport of boxing, to the people that enjoyed it, to the fights themselves, to the fighters' families themselves. That's his way of donating. So I don't care if he made a profit or not, because the money that Turkey has, it's all, in my mind, him donating something to give back for everything that he's owned or received in his life that made him stupidly wealthy. So for me, a rich person that is financing a fight, do I care if they're making a profit? No, I do not. I don't care if they are, because they should have a mindset anyway. I'm going to go to Dallas Stadium. I'm going to rent it out for a day to see these guys fight because I got the money. Who gives a flying you know what that I get a profit or not? I got the money. Warren about to lose some fighters. Warren is about to funnel out some fighters because not everybody is going to be around in 2027. Mark my words about Frank Warren. Let's talk about Frank for a minute. Frank Warren has Dubois, Caballel, Parker, Atoma. Don't he have Lawrence Akali? Wardley? Don't he still got Joe Joyce? Dubois? Who else does he have? He has a couple more. Who else am I missing? Am I dead yet? No, you're not dead yet, dear. You're not dead yet. We will see. What did you think of Conor Benn acting like a Tottenham fan? I mean, look. At the time, Conor Benn thought of how he felt. And, you know, when you get offered that type of money, he took the money. I ain't mad at him. And you have to also take into account, Conor Benn went a couple years without having nothing. He didn't have money. Frank old enough to retire. Am I dead yet? What's up, Counterpunch to you? Most of Warren's heavyweights parked up. I wouldn't be surprised if Fury could be in those files. Oh, no. Nikki Blue-Eyed Austin in the building. What's up, baby? Counterpunch to you. But no, Frank has to start using those fighters. I mean, they're getting restless. You know, then then he brought Tyson Fury back, right? So you have a lot of people. Derek Chisora. You have, like, Frank, his hand is in the heavyweight division heavily. So he's going to have to deliver some fights. That's why we got Fabio versus Daniel Dubois. That's why Jet Caballel has to do something with Alexander Usyk quick. Then Tyson Fury's fighting Arslanbek Markmadov. See, we're having these fights because these fights have to happen because Turki Al-Sheikh has set a standard of how and what we expect as fans. If he's sitting back on high with all these fighters and none of them are fighting each other, we got a problem. His stock's going to drop. In Queensberry, I feel that Frank's like, look, I don't want them to drop. These guys got to fight each other. We got a British champion now. So we've, in a way, have temporarily put a patch on the Ukrainian problem. Alexander Usyk, and Alexander Usyk is actually, you know, making it worse enough for himself, to be fair. And I'll talk about him in a second. But we have a British heavyweight champion again. You know what I'm saying? It was Joshua, then Joshua lost it, and it was Fury, then Fury lost it, and then guess what? Who was it? We need another British champion. Boom, Fabio Wardley. Parker, sorry, Parker, you're not British. But if he was, but he's not. Right? So we got a heavyweight British champion. Fabio Wardley, tough as nails, hard right hand, too legit to quit, not like a jet. Bars. Right? So he knows I have to start my reign with this guy. So who do I have? One of the best guys that I've supported over the years, Daniel Dubois. So he has to beat Daniel. Because if Daniel beats him and upsets the apple cart and whoops another undefeated fighter, yes, he's going to have a heavyweight champion, but it's not going to be a fresh one. It's going to be one that's maybe bound to quit or maybe, you know, not that marketable. You know what I mean? Despite what he's done in his career. You know what I mean? He beat Loudmouth Jarrell Miller. He beat Philip Ergovic. He knocked out Anthony Joshua. Then he gets stopped by Alexander Usyk. Then he comes back and beats Fabio Wardley. This will be the biggest comeback in heavyweight history for Daniel Dubois. But They don't know, and I don't feel that Frank Warren feels that he could be marketable enough. You know? So, I don't know. So, I think this is more for, has Warren too? Has Wardley too, Warren? Yes. Wardley is signed with Frank. Frank, Queensberry, UK, big up. They got a heavyweight champion. They got a heavyweight champion. So, Frank needs Fabio to show his reign. Daniel Dubois has had his chance. He's had it. And he's done a good job, in my opinion. You know, you beat your last 3 out of 4, right? He got beat by Usyk, but so is everybody. Everybody has been beaten by Usyk. So there's nothing for Daniel Dubois to feel bad about, except when he ducked Joseph Parker. The point of having a title is that you can claim to be the best in the world. We know for a fact that Triple D isn't the best, so it's pointless for him to fight for a title. Well, he's also a former champion, but that's how it works. Whoever was the former champion will fight the current champion. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, people. Fabio might stop Triple D. If he does, he will have a name on the list unlike who? AJ? Unlike who? Jarrell Miller? Unlike who? Philip Hergovic? Huh? He will have a name that other fighters don't have. Like the guys I've mentioned don't have. Okay? And so Fabio Wardley will then, hey, I stopped the young bull, the baby bull, Dynamite, Dubois. I did something that AJ couldn't do. And it could build up a fight for AJ. AJ versus Wardley. That fight will get bigger then, right? Wouldn't that fight be bigger if Fabio comes out there and boom, catches Daniel Dubois, and Daniel goes down and does another knee, and then he'll be renamed Triple Knee, and then he'll be done, and Fabio will retain his title on the WBO, right? First thing they're going to say, man, Fabio got that right hand. He's the Bronze Bomber Jr. He's the Tan Bomber. And he took, and it'll, especially if it's going to go down to tit for tat, blow for blow, toe to toe, mano a mano, right? If that happens and Daniel's able to get those shots off like he does, and that double jab and that double overhand right, left hook, and Fabio's able to take those shots and then drop that right hand and drop Daniel Dubois, if he's able to do that, oh yeah, he's going to be the new renowned warlord. Absolutely. I think Fabio knocks the granny out of Triple D. He needs to recover from what happened to him. Who's that? Anthony? Yeah. If that's who you're talking about. I got Triple D to win. Triple D has caved in too many times. When the going gets tough, Wardley riding a wave right now. We'll see. And it's going to be one. It's going to be. I think it's going to be one heck of a fight. And the reason for that is, people, I'm going to say this one time before this breakdown of Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardley, and I want you guys to listen to me very carefully. Daniel Dubois does not have a physical problem. I don't think he is physically hurt at any time. I think he's very durable. I think mentally he's flawed, not physically. See, if Daniel's able to hit Fabio, I think he's going to keep hitting Fabio. He wasn't able to hit Usyk. He couldn't touch Usyk. So it was almost like someone struggling to do something that he couldn't do, and that bothered him. So, you know. Danny DeBoy, he said, Triple D's jab will make Wardley nose break even harder. Maybe. The Beige Bomber. Black Mamba 32 GOAT. I like it. The Beige Bomber. Yes. The Beige Bomber. Yes. Black Mamba. I like it. The Beige Bomber. Absolutely. The Beige Bomber. I like that. Fabio the Beige Bomber Wardley, the WBO heavyweight champion of the world. I like that. He's the Beige Bomber. And if he can knock out Triple D, knock him out, I think Triple D should retire because he's been in a lot of fights and he ain't even 30 yet, right? Triple D, look, how many fights has he been in? Triple D has been in 2 fights with Usyk. He took his first loss in 2020 from Joe Joyce, right? And they were both undefeated, okay? What else? Yeah, I think Wardley knocks Triple D out in round 8. Yeah, but Fabio don't have the defense and the moves like Usyk. It's easy target for Dubois. Dubois is going to target that nose. He's going to start with that piston double jab. He's going to show you how levels are and how different Fabio is from Alexander Usyk. Give Huni another shot. Well, you know what? Huni. Right? Huni. Huni is chinny. He's chinny. Huni is chinny. I'm sorry, he's a chinny fighter. He got a big old chin. I bet you he's about 15 to 20% Aborigine. I can see it in him. But guess what? He's chinny. He can't take a punch. He showed me that the fight before then. You remember when he fought the South African Kevin Ladena? And he got buckled because he got caught with a good shot? And I don't even know how good the shot was. Because Kevin Ladena can punch, but he has no follow-up. Kevin Ladena is a big, bulky dude. Big calves, big structure. But I think he lacks tenacity, definitely skill. But he can punch a bit. And he caught Huni, and Huni was on Queer Street. He was on Queer Street. And because he was on Queer Street, and he got knocked out like he did from Fabio Wardley just happened to throw that thing. If he wouldn't have threw that punch, he would have got whooped. Not saying he's not a good fighter. He's just chinny. Wardley won't dare go near Huni again. Wardley has that dog in him and keeps going. He does. You know? What is all this here? What is this Batu? Okay, Fabio got power to KO any heavyweight. I don't know. I mean, I know he has power, but then here's the thing. He hit Parker. I don't think so, people. You know why I don't think like Fabio has this power that we think? He has power. But I don't think it's the level of how Wilder's power was. And I'm going to explain to you why I believe that. And it just hit me, just clicked. Fabio Wardley does not have the power that someone like Zhilei Zhang has. Think about what I just said. Fabio Wardley does not have the power that Zhilei Zhang has. He don't. There's levels to power. Zhilei Zhang has more power than Fabio Wardley. We want to say that he don't because he's older and we discriminate against older people. Ha ha. But when you discriminate against anybody older, understand Power is the last to go, correct? Zilly Zhang still has it. I mean, ask anybody. Ask anybody that fought Zilly Zhang, right? Ask anybody that fought Zilly Zhang. Wilder, Caballel, Parker, who else? Joyce, Hergovic. His power is real. His power is real. And I'm not saying that Fabio's not, but look how Parker fought Fabio versus how Parker fought Zhang. Do you see the difference? Zhang hit Parker. Parker's like, oh, let me get down. Wardley hit Parker with shots that, yeah, it stunned him, but it didn't make him forced to go south. Okay, he didn't have that type of power. Zhang got some different power. He got some different power. Besides Fabio. Fabio has hard power. He ain't got that knockout power. You see what I mean? That Chinese power different, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Zhang put Parker down twice. Wardley put Parker down none. Not once. Kurt, do you remember Wardley versus Clark 1 when it was a close fight and a better finisher like Dubois finishes him off? Maybe. I'm just keeping it real. And that's based on one fighter fighting two different fighters and the way he responded to those two guys' punching power. Those two guys' punches. What? Zhang, bow. Oh. He had to get up. He had to sit there for a while and recover as the 5, 6, 7, 8. He had to recover because Parker knew, bro, I just got hit with a shot that I'm not used to. Now, this is coming from a guy that knocked out a guy that knocked me out, Joe Joyce. And we all know Joe Joyce had that chin to win. That Big Bang ain't no book. People, okay. Okay. Keep sleeping on him. Keep sleeping on him. Keep sleeping on Zilly Zhang. There is a difference between those powers, bro. And I know, Zhang has that straight left and that right hook, and that right hook is devastating. But any of those punches, both of those punches, put Joseph down. I think the right put him down the first time, and I think in the 7th round, the straight left hit Parker, and he went down. I could be wrong, right? But Wardley hit Parker all night. They went back and forth. Wardley don't got that type of power, and I'm not dissing Wardley. I just know Wardley, keeping it real, don't got the power like the Chinese wall of China, Zilly Zhang. He don't have that type of power. So yeah, keep look. Keep slipping on Zhang. Zhang's going to knock somebody out. The next fight, he's going to knock somebody out. If Ajet Caballel wasn't as young, as durable as he was, and didn't have the chin that he has and wasn't as durable, he would have got knocked out too. But by the time he caught Ajet Caballel, Zhang was already damaged internally. Zhang was already busted up to the body because Ajet Caballel immediately started going to that body early. He started going and bet. He started doing that from round 1. So by the time he knocked him down, I think it was in the 4th round, he was going to go in the 5th because he had already done the damage. He'd already put in the investment, went to the body. Those tires were low. It was time for that car to stop, or that truck probably in Zhang's case since he's so big, right? What about Ajagba? Ajagba can punch too. But I don't think Ajagba punches harder than Zhang. I could be wrong. The ref saved Parker. No, he didn't. The ref saved Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley was gassed out. And we don't know what Parker could have done. We don't know what he could have done because we never got the opportunity. That's it. Zhang is in the top 5 punches of the last 20 years. He probably is. You don't see Wilder talking about Zhang, does he? Did he say Zhang cheated? Did Wilder say Zhang cheated? Did Deontay Wilder say Zhang cheated? Hades, no, he didn't. Because he knows better than to say a lie that big. Because he know when he got hit, bow! Bow! When he got hit with that second right hook, that's the same right hook that knocked Joe Joyce spark out. Shout out to Wilder with that chin, though, because he actually got up. He got up faster than Joyce did. So, hey. He say, behave, DeVille. I know that's your boy. We're speaking facts. That's why you know you can't do nothing but laugh. But I showed him some love because he did get up before Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce got up like, it was over with. There's no need to count because your body language, your tone is not even right to look like you can fight bars. Brother, please try British accent. Man, my British accent sucks. Zhang has fast, sharp power. If Zhang had stamina, he would whoop everybody in the heavyweight division. There, I said it. 42, 53, 49, 48, 42, whatever age he is. If Zhang has stamina, he will whoop everybody in the heavyweight division. Probably except Caballo, because Caballo knew to go right to his body. Let's take whatever he thinks he has. Let's take it away. Let's hit that rice pocket. Back. Let's hit that noodle pocket. Back. Let's hit that. Let's get it. True, Zhang has terror. Man, his stamina is horrible. His stamina is horrible. You can see Zhang struggle in training camp. It's like an old man. Sean George's trainer comes, what's wrong? I am tired. Tired. I am tired, Machihola! He's tired. He's tired, bro. He is tired. There's nothing. Look. Zhang is a guy, right? Zhang is a guy that he's tired. He's tired most of the time. He's tired in his training camps. He's tired in his own social media training workouts. He's tired all the time. Imagine Prime Usyk versus Prime Zhang. Usyk would still beat him. I mean, because Zhang, I don't know what Zhang's done in his life, but it seems like to me Zhang might be older than he lets out to be. Zhang might be Luis Ortiz's age. We talk about Cubans all the time. You talk about my folks a lot. We talk about them together. Because I talk about everybody, but we ain't talked about how maybe the Chinese, you know what I mean, they may look younger, but don't mean they actually are. I've heard Asian people say, hey, I have wrinkles on the inside, my friend. Maybe Zhang does too. Maybe Zhang ain't 42 years old. Maybe Zhang is actually about 52. AJ versus Ajagba. Ooh, Chet Perry. I don't know. I think that would be a fight that should be in Nigeria. But since Ajagba is a part of Zuffa, Well, you know what? That fight will never happen. That fight will never happen because AJ signed a slave contract. Yeah, it's a slave contract. He signed a slave contract, Eddie Hearn. Why would you sign a contract forever? That's crazy. That got to be a lot of money. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, Eddie's done right by Anthony Joshua. But they're both British. Everything is aligned together. They've both made each other a lot of money. Kurt, you really believe in Zhang with stamina would beat every heavyweight, including Usyk? I'm not sure I agree. Well, except for Jet Caballo, because it wasn't stamina at all that stopped him. It was a beating to the belly. But yeah, I mean, if he had stamina, yeah. Because he wouldn't worry about, I think he would be more active, then he could show you more of what he has technically. Zhang can only show us what his stamina allows us to show. Let's say, for example, right? He's a southpaw. And let's say he's a big dude, 6'6", 300 pounds. So you got somebody 6'6", 300 pounds. Now he could probably only show you a, 1, 2, 1, 2. That from bouncing around, 1, 2, 1, 2. He could only probably do that how many times around? Honestly. Like him right now. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? That takes power. Chinese power. Right? The Chinese power that he's throwing. Let's say he misses. That takes more power away. Because when you miss a shot, you think about a punch you think's going to land, and it doesn't. Then you come back, you throw it again, and you miss again, and you come back with your right hook, and you miss all four. That takes more energy. You're dispersing more energy by throwing something that didn't land. And it messes with you in all kind of ways because you, in your mind, thinking that fist is going to land to the target. When it lands to the target, and then you come back with the right hook and it misses, you're thinking, oh no. And God forbid you don't get countered. And that takes more power. That means if you get hit off of that, you don't expect that punch to land because you expected the 2 punches you threw to land. But he catches you with something and boom, catches you. How many times you think he can do that in one round? Maybe 10, right? Rice pocket, yeah. Maybe 10, maybe 6 or 7, maybe 8. Maybe he can do that every 20 seconds, 25 seconds, based on his current stamina. But understand, each time he throws a combination, that's one less combination that he won't be able to throw later on. That being said, let's say he had stamina and he's able to throw that unlimitedly. That's a totally different mindset because now I don't have to worry about it. I can throw 2 punches away to land, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't have to worry about it because I'm still moving. I'm still coming forward. I still have stamina. I don't have to worry about stuff because I can pick shots off, rubberneck shots. I can do whatever I need to do at this point because I'm not worried about getting tired. Whereas Zhang has to set shots up. He has to be smarter because he knows I don't have that many punches. If I get tired, I'm gonna be tired. And you can tell when Zhang gets tired. His mouth opens. His mouth is open like he's looking like Jaime Munguia. So yeah. I mean, it's different when you know you got stamina versus, you know, you know what I mean? Someone that big hit you with 6 shots, hit you in the shoulder, hit you in the chest, hit you right here at the clavicle. You know what I mean? Then he's hitting you with shots, da, ba, ba, chopping you. That's why I'm so disappointed in Martin McCauley. Because Martin McCauley, he has the style. He just doesn't have the discipline. It's a shame Zhang never got a title shot in the last few years. He deserves one. I agree. I wish we saw Zhang compete at the higher levels 4 to 5 years after. I mean, he spent a lot of times in the Olympics, and more than likely, people, because he's Chinese, he had to deal with the politics of his country. You know, look at the Cubans over there. It's Cuban fighters we will never see. That they're a lot better than the fighters that we've seen. We'll never see them. Why? Because they're in a communist country locked up like slaves. And it's people like Floyd Mayweather's caliber that are that good that we will never see. It's almost like looking at this. Looking at a fighter like that, that's deprived, and he's beating everybody in the amateur. Sure he is. But it doesn't matter because we'll never see him. It's almost like going somewhere like Brazil and probably seeing the prettiest girl ever there that you'll never see here in the States. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Kind of like, okay, well, you'll see that person in their habitat if you went there. But you'll never see them here because it would never be an opportunity for that person to ever be walking down the street and you actually see them. Just like you'll never have an opportunity for a Cuban fighter that is one of those sons of Cuba prodigies that learned the Cuban style that was just faster, slicker, better, stronger, and everything else. He will never have the opportunity that someone like Erislandy Lara had to make for themselves because they never will take the initiative to leave that country. That's how it is. It's a shame Zhang never already got that one. I already said that. Okay. First time I seen him fight was against Hrgovic. Me too. I seen Zhang fight, and then I think the second time I saw him, he fought, what's that guy's name that he fought to the draw? Jerry Forrest. Yeah, Jerry Forrest. Gracie Bond is my fantasy date. Who is Gracie Bond? I don't know who that is. But no, I mean, I think that's what happened with Zhang. But Efe Ajagba also a huge puncher. Oh man. Dangerous fighters though, man. Dangerous. And who's beat Efe Ajagba? A Cuban fighter, Frank Sanchez. You know, and it is what it is. Do you think Ryan can win tonight? Do I think Ryan Garcia can win tonight? I mean, I think he can, but I hope he gets beat. The reason I hope Ryan gets beat is because I don't think he's as good as people let out to be. I think he's more popular because of attraction. I think because of his youth. I think because of the similarities of him looking like Oscar De La Hoya and everyone that was around at the time when Oscar De La Hoya was fighting. And Oscar De La Hoya was on top, which was about 25 years ago, right? I think people see the similarities, and I think people like history to repeat itself. If Ryan Garcia was a De La Hoya, he would probably be bigger, but then it doesn't matter because he signed with Golden Boy, and he is up under the banner of Oscar De La Hoya, which makes it, you know, marketable. But I don't think he's any good. I think he's a one-handed fighter. I look at Ryan Garcia like I look at Wilder. If he can't hit you with that left hook, you're going to beat him. He's just as awkward. He's just really fast. His defense sucks. I used to like him 5 or 6 years ago because I thought he was something different, only to find out he ain't. And it's disappointing because he wasn't, because I thought that we were going to get somebody that believed in their faith like other people believed in their faith, wanted to pray and stuff. Nobody did that. But then you equally mess it up by doing what you did in other instances, claiming to still be that person that prayed and all that. Come on, bro. You'll never see me pray to you guys and then cuss out a whole group of people. That's just some bigot stuff. Right? You have to have enough sense not to do stuff like that. But it is what it is. He can, but he is not going to win. The same thing about boxing until the 1990s. USSR was locked. Imagine how many fighters we would see. Well, let's look at fighters we did see. How about that? Let's get out the imaginary realm for a minute. Who beat Danny Jacobs first? You guys know? You guys remember who beat Danny Jacobs? Dmitry Pitrog. Dmitry Pitrog, an undefeated fighter to this day, 20-0, 15 KOs from Russia. I have never seen a Russian move like that. I have never seen a Russian with that type of flexibility, with that type of agility, with that type of loose and relaxed style. If you look at Dmitry Pitrog, you would think, what in the hell do we have here? Because he fights nothing like a Russian fighter at all, except his ability to shift his feet to generate punching power from different angles. Other than that, though, he fights like somebody that was trained by the Mayweathers or somebody. The dude fought. Dude fought like this. If you look at Dmitry Pitrog, I'm like, where did this dude come from? Who trained him? Usyk versus Caballero this year. Why not? Why not? I mean, that's the fight that should happen. Look, here's the thing. If Alexander Usyk drops the belt and doesn't fight Jet Caballero, you can't stop. You can't keep supporting Usyk at that point. I still have nothing against him, but legacy-wise, you're dropping belts and you're dropping them like Tic Tacs. You're sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to drop another belt. And because you said you're not dropping another belt, Usyk, and you drop a belt, you're no different than Conor Benn. Actually, Conor's doing it for money. What are you doing it for? You're doing it to avoid fights? Why? For Tyson Fury to come back? That means Tyson Fury is in your head just as much as Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Right? If you guys are fixated on each other and fighting each other, you're doing nothing for the sport of boxing. You're making the sport of boxing a broken record. But yet, you're dissing Ajit Caballero. You're dissing Fabio Wardley. They're becoming champions because you refuse to fight them is not good enough. That's not showing that you're a true champion. So at that point, who would be the true champion? Usyk needs to fight and stop holding those belts hostage. The Conor Benn betrayal was crazy. No, it wouldn't. He did it for money. I ain't mad at it. Benavidez don't want that Opataya smoke. Well, David, I think, is sad because what we've noticed about boxing, the more we point out the bad things about fighters, only to see the same fighters that helped us point out bad things about certain fighters do it themselves. It's like boxing is being identified as the hypocritical sport that we love, that we hate so much. See, David Benavidez said all that about Canelo Alvarez, and he wasn't wrong. Canelo should have fought David. And you know what would have happened? Canelo probably would have got beat up. He probably would have got smoked by David. 168, 175 too. I mean, wasn't it Canelo Alvarez that fought at both weight classes? And we all know that David's at 175 right now, and he's probably, making the adjustments to go to 200 to fight Zurdo. But he wasn't wrong for what he said about Canelo. But what makes him just as wrong is you go and do the same thing. Who are you fighting? Who are you fighting, David? You fighting Volsnik. He's a former champion. Nobody cares about Volsnik. Volsnik got retired by Artur Beterbiev. Come on, man. He got retired by Artur Beterbiev. He couldn't take the punches. And it's not because he was not a good boxer, because he was a very good boxer. He just could not handle the onslaught. He could not handle the battering. He could not handle the pressure from somebody that hit that hard. That's who you need to be fighting. Not somebody like Volsnik, not somebody like Morel that was at 168. Come on. You should have fought somebody that everybody knew that was a badass. Everyone knows, Artur's a badass. Everyone knows that Dmitry Bivol is one hell of a fighter. Everyone knows that Jaya Patai is a bone breaker. So why are we getting fights like Zurdo? What is Zurdo known for? Can somebody tell me what Zurdo Ramirez is known for? Positively. Can somebody in the comments right now tell me what Zurdo Ramirez is known for? Can somebody tell me that? Can somebody tell me that? Can somebody tell me anything positive about Zurdo? Okay, Benavidez versus Beterbiev is a war. Yes, it's a war if it ever happens. Okay, Beterbiev should retire. Okay, I'm talking about Zurdo. Can somebody tell me anything positive about Zurdo Ramirez? Can somebody tell me? Bud went up 3 divisions. Can somebody tell me something about Zurdo? Somebody, anybody on here? I don't know how many people on here. I don't think it's 33 people on here. I think it's more than that. How many people that are listening to the sound of my voice right now, can somebody tell me what Zurdo has done positively? He ain't undefeated. Next. Do your homework first. What has he done? What has he done for the sport? What has he done to show that he is somebody in anything? At 168, at 175, or at cruiserweight, what has he done? Zurdo beat, who is CBS? Did you say CBS? Is that Callum Billum Smith? What has he done? Dorticos, the 50-year-old Cuban? Joe Smith. Okay, Joe Smith, the journeyman that stopped his construction working job. Come on, man. Jesse Hart. I mean, he actually boxed, unlike you just yapping at the internet. Okay. He actually boxed. So did John Fury actually boxed. The Zaydian. I've heard his name. That's about it. I remember Zurdo Ramirez. Big dude, big Mexican guy. He was signed to Top Rank. This is what I remember about Zurdo. And this was years ago. I mean, years ago. This was probably about 2010, 11, maybe 12. It was back in the day. And Bob Arum signed Zurdo Ramirez. You know, big guy, you know what I mean? Looked like he had a bright future. But you know something? Didn't hear anything since then. Joe Smith is world-class light heavyweight. Kurt, when he beats Benavidez, what you gonna say? What you're gonna say, though? When he beats Benavidez? If Zurdo Ramirez beats Benavidez, he's going to get the 100 full respect that he deserves. This is something to think about, though. For one, I don't think he's going to beat Benavidez at all. But if he does, he gets 100%. No, he gets about 75% respect. I'm going to tell you why. You got a guy. You got a guy that went from 168 to 175, then went from 175 to 200. So he's fighting you at a different weight class. You're fighting somebody coming up. How much respect should you give someone that's constantly ducking the other champion at the same weight? So, I mean, if he beats David, it's going to be an accomplishment. And it will be karma for David. Why? You ran from a possible ass whooping from a 40-year-old Artur Beterbiev only to get your ass whooped by somebody bigger. That's going to be funny. I'm going to laugh because of that. But it's not going to excuse Zurdo's ducking of Jaya Pataya in his own weight class. David ain't a cruiserweight. I don't care how much he balloons up to. It don't matter. If he balloons up to 200 or 198, he's never fought at cruiserweight. So if he gets hurt and he can't take the punches, okay. That meant I didn't supposed to be there in the first place. Am I right or am I wrong? Don't matter. Okay? But Zurdo, you just let somebody come up here to challenge you that was smaller than you. Everybody knows Zurdo walks around at my weight. So there you go. Give us a 1-2, Kurt. Benavidez is a cruiser. All right. That Benavidez is a cruiser narrative, that was created by Canelo Alvarez because he was like, well, there's nothing that's going to, it comes to 200 pounds. You know, he's worried about weight because he didn't want to fight him. As long as he made weight, he shouldn't worry about any of that. I'm actually worried for Jai against Clanton, not due to skill, but due to Jai dodging it too much and not boxing. Jai boxing, no one beats him. Hey man, Brandon Sterling, I feel you. I do understand. Kurt looks like an undercover bad. Well, I'm not. David too fast for Zurdo. He's going to beat Zurdo. He's going to pick Zurdo apart. He's going to chop Zurdo up. And he's going to do it either quick or slow. You know? But yeah, if Zurdo beats him, I mean, you know, that just David has a limit. He doesn't belong at cruiserweight. And he hadn't proved himself at light heavy, bouncing around and stuff. You're leaving a weight class that you ain't even established really. You ain't proved to be one of the best fighters at 175 and you're going to a cruiserweight. He's doing that because he already knows Jaya Pataya is the guy, so I'm going to beat the other guy. So I can be somewhere comparable to the guy that's the actual guy at cruiserweight. So then you can compare me to the guy that's actually the guy at cruiserweight. Then I'm going to run back to light heavyweight to do what? To show that I'm the guy there? Hopefully. Benavidez said Jai signing to Zuf is a roadblock. Of course he would say that. But is that true? I don't know, but who cares anyway? Because, I mean, David, David ain't trying to fight none of them dudes. He needs to convince me that he wants to fight one of them dudes. Because where did Zerto come from? Out of the blue. Zerto came out of the blue. Jai had issues with Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn admitted he could not do anything for Jayapataya. So Jayapataya had to do something, just like Conor Benn did, right? He decided, yo, I'm going to make a decision for myself. I'm going to get better exposure for myself. I'm going to get off this small island and fight in front of others. Kurt, do you think Bud can beat Benavidez? David Benavidez? You know, I pondered on that because, you know, he would get hit by David. I don't know, man. I think 175? Are we talking at 170? Because, I mean, I never seen Bud at 175. We've seen how he is at 168. He was just as big, just as strong. He didn't even look bulky. He looked exactly how he needed to look. 175, I couldn't tell you. 175, you got to favor David because David is a big dude, you know. But then again, David ain't been in there with nobody slick like Terrence. And Terrence won't be stupid enough to sit there in front of David and let David throw all them punches like that. However, we have seen, because regardless of how you slice it or dice it, David Benavidez fights like his brother. I think he's a bigger version of his brother. He's like Jose Benavidez plus or max. And because of that, Terrence had issues with Jose Benavidez. If you seen that fight, Terrence got tagged some. He knocked out Jose in the 12th round because it took him a while to adjust to those sporadic combinations that Jose and his little brother, bigger brother David, throws. They throw punches that will keep you busy defensively because you're constantly trying to avoid shots when you're dealing with somebody that throws that type of artillery all the time. Not hating, Kurt. Serious question. What's your beef with Zerto? He's a warrior and a good inside fighter. I've never actually heard him saving he doesn't want to try to fight. I haven't seen him not say that either. Gas Hearsome. I just never seen him say anything towards that. That's his division. You don't want the IBF. You don't want the Ring Magazine. You don't want the WBC belonged to someone else. But the problem with Zerto is we haven't seen him say, I don't want the fight with Jai. What we have heard from Zerto is, oh, he needs more experience. He's fighting cotton. What does he call him? What was that word? He used something. Cotton fobbers or some word he said. But he pretty much talked about Jai as though Jai was a bum that didn't deserve the opportunity because of lack of experience. And it's crazy because that's like Joshua not offering Wilder any type of deal, any type of fight, any type of offer, but you have everything to say about his resume. See, if it wasn't for Joshua sending offers to Wilder, Wilder would then have some type of credibility, right? He would have some type of claim, like, okay, I can see that, Wilder, because you've been in these fights that you just ain't got the opportunity, but you can beat that other champion, right? Jai is in the same predicament, except Zerto, with all this experience, Joe Smith, Chris Billum Smith, Dorticos, who else? Bivol, which he lost. And we talk about that, right? We talk about that and your experience and all this, that, and the other. But at the same time, you ain't offering Jai anything. You're not offering Jai any offers. You're not offering him to fight. You're not contacting anybody. You're lying about everything. You're just a liar. You're just talking about someone that you don't want to fight, that you've never offered a fight to. Although Jai Opetaia and his team has offered you fights, and you either turned it down or pretended that never happened. So, that's my problem with Zurdo. If you don't want to fight, Zurdo, okay, but don't talk smack about somebody and ridicule their resume, but you're not even trying to make a fight happen. Why don't you show us all, Zurdo, that you can go and easily beat this guy, Jai Opetaia, that ain't fought nobody? If he does that, he gets 100% respect, because he'll show everyone, say, I told you this guy that don't know he can fight. Cotton Fibers. Jai has beaten Bradis, Elite, CW in his prime. Counterpunch Boxing News Afternoon Chat. Counterpunch to you. Revelation TV. Counterpunch. I hope Jai gets his undisputed. I don't know. I don't know if he will get any of that, but I can tell you this. Zurdo fighting a smaller guy in David Benavidez, and Benavidez is leaving light heavyweight without even testing the real champions there, the former or otherwise, or the other, because he only has two options now: fight the former undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev, or fight the current unified champion there, Dimitri Bivol. Who wins tonight? I hope Mario beats Ryan, because I want Ryan humbled. I want him stopped, and I don't want him to be a factor no more. I want him to disappear like Adrian Broner. That's what I want. I mean, that and that's not a prediction. I think Mario Barrios, I think he is. I think he throws straighter punches, and he should be able to outbox Ryan. I hope he busts Ryan up. I hope he makes an exclamation mark in this fight against Ryan. Ryan, I think I think he should have been at welterweight though, and I think that's where he should stay if he's going to be anywhere. But Mario might get caught with that left hook. I think Ryan will be stronger at 147, and because of that, he may knock out Mario Barrios, and that's just me looking at the fight itself, not me looking at the character of any fighter. Because if it's up to the character, it would be up to Mario Barrios, because I think he's a good dude. I can't say that about Ryan. I used to like Ryan, but Ryan's done some things that made me question his character and everything else about him. But based on his attributes, his speed, and that left hook, that may be enough to beat Mario Barrios, and that's just my unbiased opinion. Will I pay for it? No, I will not. I will not pay $75 to see something on DAZN, and DAZN promised not to even pay or show pay-per-view or air pay-per-view. We supposed to watch that for free $99 tonight. I'm not paying $75 for it, so it is what it is. Hello, Blacko. Worley versus Triple D, fight of the year. I hope so. I want to see a fight that shows two guys that want it more than the next, and they show it each and every round. I think it's going to be one heck of a fight. $75 is crazy. It's just too much. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm going to go to the gym, finish the rest of my workout. Then I'm going to come back here, work on some video content, go to sleep, then go to work. After the fight's over, we will see another live stream, which I will do tonight, and we will talk about the highlights of the fight. You gonna pirate the fight like me? No, I'm not gonna do that. I haven't got that way because I still believe in supporting the fighters. It's either support the fighters or don't, but I won't steal from them. All right. But I enjoyed you guys today. Still a little bit under the weather. The flu in the South, well, really all over the states, has just been crazy. But I got sick Monday. I was doing so much better until I went to the hospital. And I possibly got COVID or whatever because I can feel it in here. My taste is just coming back. It's not all the way here. So what are you working on at the moment, Kurt? Nothing, man. I have a couple jobs that I do because I'm always a hustler. So, I'm going to be doing that. Going to work on video content, and that's constantly being dispersed out through the channel on the platform. So I appreciate you guys for supporting me. But yeah, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to get off. And when we get off, we're going to go live. Hopefully you guys are still up. I know most of you guys are in the UK. So, you want to see the fight live or watch along. My boy Liam, G-Man Boxing, he's live right now. So check him out, support him. And I will see you guys later on. Until then, you guys be blessed. And everybody has been Counterpunch. Peace.